So we've been talking a lot about math,
Yeah.
which we talk about a lot here, and the difficulties that students have in math, particularly in Algebra 1. Tell me what it was like for you as an 8th grader taking Algebra 1.
So like algebra in 8th grade, we were working from a book, and we taught the lesson from the book, and then we did the work. And like, I don't think I was understanding the concept as much as what I should have been, because what I was doing, like every night, I would like just be able to see how the problem was being worked in the book, and then copy the exact way it was being worked on my homework. So I wasn't so when we got to test, I did okay on the test because I remembered exactly how it was worked in the book, but not enough that 2 years later, because I'm in Algebra 2 now, I remember how to do that. Because in some stuff in Algebra 2 now, you can think through a concept and be like, okay, so I know these skills, and these skills, putting that all together, now I can do this problem. In Algebra 2, it wasn't that. It was just learning how to do it and then doing that.
In Algebra 1, you mean?
Yeah, Algebra 1, yeah.
But if you were to take say Algebra 1 now, say you didn't have it in 8th grade and say you were going to take it now or even last year, do you think that your thought process or the level at which you can think is different than it was when you were in 8th grade?
Yeah, I think it was absolutely, because now I realize that if I don't know, if I can copy a method, that's not going to get me anywhere unless it's the exact same problem. But if I'm learning how to actually do that type of problem and put together skills that I've actually learned to do it, then that gets me a lot farther. And that's what I'm doing now, and that's why I'm just always having such an emotional breakdown. I was like, I don't know how to do this. But once I've learned this skill, then it's no problem.
Okay, I'll ask you about that. Do you think your reasoning skills are better than they were when you were in 8th grade? How you approach a problem, or?
Yeah. Well, I think they were better because reasoning now, it's just okay, do I know how to do this? No. Do I know how to do parts of it? Yes. I start from there instead of just not doing it at all.
Mm-hmm.
So if I know how to do, because we're actually learning skills here, and it's skills that you can remember to learn because you actually learned them instead of copying a method, you can put together enough skills and be okay, so she's gonna give me points for the work on this. It may not be correct, but if I learn how one more skill learned, then I'd absolutely be able to do it.
Right, so you can learn several skills and put them together, or you can, if I hear you right, you can start someplace. You may not know how to attack the problem totally, but if you start somewhere, it might lead you on the correct path at some point.
Yeah, because that's what Miss Peterson does. She's like, I'm not going to give you problems you've seen before. Sneaky snake. But in 8th grade, it was just problems, the exact setup of problems that you'd seen before. It was just changing the numbers.
Mm-hmm.
So we could do that because we've done it before. But now you actually have to learn. You have to learn this skill, and you have to learn the parts of how to make it up, and you have to learn how to do it because it's not going to be just the numbers changed.
Right. Before, when we talked, I think you said that you know how you learn now, or you said something to that effect. You've thought about how you learn.
Yeah.
Can you expand on that?
Thinking about how I've learned, everybody learns differently, and I think now we're being able to address that. Okay, so everybody needs to know the skill. There's different ways to teach everybody the skill. It's still going to be the same thing, but whether you learn by trawling things out, or having just notes memorized, or going back in the book and working actually working problems. And I feel that's more addressed here in the high school instead of just giving everybody, this is how you do the method.
Mm-hmm. And so you thought about how you learn best, and you try to do those things to help you.
Yeah. So, the way I do it, I do all my, vocabulary first, because if you don't know what it's, what the words are, then you're not going to do anything. So I do my vocabulary first, and then I'll read problems 2 or 3 times, because when I read fast, because I'm a really fast reader, I just kind of skim over things, but I can piece things together. You can't do that in math. It gets dangerous. And so then I'll read it, and then I'll take the parts that I do know, and if you know all of it, then you can work from there. I'll take the parts that I do know, do that, see where I'm at then, and then from previous skills that I know, then